namely breaking in the story of Pastor James Coates and GraceLife Church. Now, why would I want to talk about this? Well, here in our country, we sit in very much a lot of freedom. And our neighbor north of the border has gone through a lot. And this is developing news here. So GraceLife Church and James Coates, they are suing Alberta Health Services to get their building back. If you didn't know, I believe a month or two ago, where they put 3 sets of fences around the church building and barred Pastor James Coates and his congregation from fellowshipping and meeting. And basically, since then, they've been meeting in an underground church. So, I'm going to read the article to you and keep you up to speed here. Before I do that, though, if you want to catch up on any of these stories, a colleague of mine has done a great job in updating that. And if you were to go here to the Bible Thumping Wingnut guy, he definitely goes over these stories regarding Canada and the persecution of Christians and pastors being arrested. So I highly recommend you go there to see his content on his YouTube channel. So subscribe to his channel, and you'll be updated on a more regular basis than I would give you. But I feel like I felt I should share this with you because it's relevant. So more on with this. So GraceLife Church has gone on the offensive and is suing Alberta Health Services to get their church building back, making an application to the Court of Queen's Bench demanding immediate access to their church and their property, according to a press release from the Justice Center for Constitutional Freedoms. That's based in Canada. The move comes 2 months after the AHS joined forces with law enforcement to create a barricade around GraceLife Church and prohibit anyone from entering, causing large protests and creating a stark symbol of the tyranny and hostility of the Canadian government towards churches. The church has been without a building since April 7th, becoming one of the first churches in Canada to meet in secret and form the underground church, born out of necessity in order to avoid further arrest, fines, and jail time. So according to this release, it says here that the GraceLife applicants contend that public health restrictions on worship violate their rights to freedom of religion, freedom of expression, freedom of peaceful assembly, freedom of association, liberty, and security of the person as protected by Sections 2 and 7 of the Charter. In addition to asking the court to strike down the public health restrictions, the GraceLife applicants are seeking the immediate return of their building and an order from the court prohibiting law enforcement and government agents from attempting to break up or disrupt worship services. If you go to the Bible Thumping Wingnut's YouTube channel, he definitely goes over that in great detail about how GraceLife elders conducted themselves when the police were coming to the building, and in a professional way, and how they dealt with them. Very professional, very cordial, and not antagonistic. 3 congregants of GraceLife Church, Dr. Donna Clay, Agnes Smith, and Alan Neal, have joined the church and Pastor Coates in asking the court to uphold their constitutional rights by reversing the government's seizure of their church building. In addition to that, they've also launched an appeal against the June 7th decision that said James Coates' charter rights were not violated. Yeah, that was stated earlier this week. Expert reports have been filed in support of this court challenge from medical professionals and scientists, including esteemed virologist and immunologist Dr. Byron Bridle, an expert pathologist, in addition to a medical microbiologist and infection disease specialist. These extensive expert reports include scientific evidence that asymptomatic transmission is negligible, that masks are ineffective and irrational, and that capacity limits of church gatherings are also irrational and have no basis in science. The Justice Center will also be appealing the June 7th decision of Alberta's Provincial Court Judge Robert Scheigek, I don't know if I'm pronouncing that right, who ruled that the arrest, prosecution, and imprisonment of Pastor Coates did not violate his charter rights and freedoms, and that ticketing Pastor Coates for leading a regular worship service did not violate freedoms of religion, expression, assembly, and association. To me, it looks like they're putting their head in the sand and denying their culpability in what they're doing to pastors like James Coates. And it's interesting, there's a little bit of resistance here. So the last line here of this article says the next court date for Coates is on June 30th, where they will, quote, challenge the constitutionality and legality of Dr. Dina Hinshaw's lockdown restrictions, end quote. So, of course, continue to be in prayer for Pastor James Coates and his flock, and hopefully they get their building back. But, we've been seeing their sermons on YouTube, so the underground church is alive and well. With that, if you're not familiar with my channel, you can go here, and I'll bring that up to speed for you. If you go here, you click on there, and all my content is there. The last two videos was speaking on what you can and can't say at a high school graduation, and I also spoke to the local church on the humility of John the Baptist and Jesus' regenerative work, and that is regarding salvation. So that's that on me, and if you want to support my channel, you definitely can. When I go live, you can super chat. When you also can visit my Patreon account if you'd like. Again, I highly urge you to support the local church. That is my highly recommended advice to you. But if you want to go to Patreon, you definitely can. There's two tiers of what I have now is $5 per month. The Widow's Mite and the Pew Status is $10. Again, I probably will work on getting this going and doing more giveaways as I did before the new year. So perhaps we'll do another Bible giveaway. So we'll see. With that, thank you for watching. Please pray for the church in Canada, and you have a great weekend, and God bless. Thank you for watching. Take care.